and welcome to Blocker's Vlog. Let's be honest, for the past 10 years or so, we all wanted to be witches or wizards. I mean, learning spells and fighting evil snake-like people would be awesome. But I also really want invisibility cloaks to be real. I don't need one though, since my animator can make me invisible whenever he wants. But it would be a cool thing for humans to have. And believe it or not, scientists are getting kinda close to making these dreams come true. The key is distorting the way light bounces off an object. See, we're able to see things when light reaches our eyes. The light can be emitted from an object like sun, or it can enter your eye by bouncing off an object like this ridiculously large apple. If you want to hide this apple, we just have to change the way that light gets scattered off its surface. For that, we need a metamaterial, whose structure makes it exhibit properties that don't occur naturally, like invisibility, for example. A team of researchers created a metamaterial to do this, which wraps around a three-dimensional object just like a cloak would. But don't expect this material to keep you very warm because it's only 80 nanometers thick. To put that into perspective, there are 1 million nanometers in a single millimeter, so this material is incredibly thin. To actually make it work, it's covered in tiny brick-shaped gold antennas of different sizes that control how the light gets reflected and scattered off. And when the researchers used light with a wavelength of 730 nanometers, the light reflected off the object as if it were a flat mirror instead. Theoretically, you can tune the cloak so it shows the object's background or even something else completely. Like this giant apple could now be a giant Brussels sprout. No one will want to eat it now. But sadly, this technology is still far away from concealing a person. For starters, it's only able to conceal very tiny objects, so you or a particular wizard boy would be still very visible. And it would also have to work for a wide range of wavelengths, not just one. Oh, and there's also the issue that in order to actually hidden, you would have to be standing completely still. If you moved, the illusion would no longer work. So are there any other ways to become invisible? Well, if you want to be hidden from visible light, you could hide yourself using standard lenses. But it would only work for a few viewing angles and it's pretty bulky. So no cloak unfortunately. But what if you wanted to be hidden from something else instead? Like radar for example. Granted you or a military plane would still be visible to anyone watching, but to a radar system it's possible to go virtually unnoticed. For that, a radar absorbent material that coats the plane like iron ball paint is used. Basically, any incoming radar signal that reaches the plane are dissipated away as heat, thanks to some complicated physics going on in the material. But sadly, you are a person and not a plane, and radar isn't what you are trying to hide from. As always, I am Blocko, and this has been